It's going to be a tricky situation because it's going to be raining, Brittany. It's going to be raining.
It's already raining, Nick.
Is it already raining? I haven't got a chance to pop outside, so.
No. Well, that's what you have me here for. I'm going to get this microphone closer to me. Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Carlene, great to see your gorgeous face.
Thank you.
Nick, wonderful to see you too.
Your gorgeous
Nice
face.
to see you.
So this is actually one of the big reasons why, if you were watching our regular newscast or on WCNC Plus on Saturday, why I issued an impact alert day for this. It is not crazy storms. It is not even really that heavy of rain, but my mindset here was that while it's not severe weather, it's impactful weather, especially because Tuesday and Wednesday are expected to be the biggest, travel days, especially by car. And we're already seeing areas of rain. What I need you to think about, though, is that this is round one if round two is coming in later on tonight. So this is more light rain, more of a cold air damming setup where we have the wedge set up, especially across the mountain areas. However, it's not going to be like that all day. We will see higher chances for rain and thunderstorms even isolated across the Piedmont later on tonight. So this is a live picture here from Boone and King Street. Of course, right when I show it to you, my beach mountain camera went out. So let's go to another one. Here's Monroe, where it's not actively raining yet. Rain has not arrived yet in Union County. And then here's a look here on our WCNC Charlotte Tower cam. Now, again, pretty cloudy out there, pretty drizzly. I don't even know. That's not even a word. But yes, pretty drizzly, low-hanging clouds. Kind of a gross day. Can't really say much more about it than that. Now, here's the deal. Again, this is the main line. This is the main rain line ahead of that chance for storms later on today. You can see it on satellite and radar. As we zoom a little bit closer, you'll notice it's pretty much light rain knocking on Charlotte's doorstep. The good news is that this has fallen apart a bit as it's gotten closer to the Charlotte area. Mainly some wind gusts reported between about 20 to 25 miles an hour, which could of course loosen some of those holiday decorations. But again, hopefully we were prepared for this if we were watching WCNC Plus over the last few days. If you are in any of these areas, this is an estimated time of arrival, but in Matthews, Mint Hill area around 12:45, so you got about 10 minutes or so. Monroe, Spencer closer to 1 p.m., eventually pushing into the Winston-Salem area by 1:30. So this storm system is actually moving pretty quick at about 35 miles an hour, so it's moving in quick and moving out quick. But again, this is just round one of more rain and storms that are on the way. So here's 8 o'clock tonight. You can see a couple of those isolated thunderstorms moving into parts of Cleveland County. That's essentially right over the Charlotte Metro around 10 or 11. So the good news is that when it comes to the storm chances, there's some of you maybe who planned on traveling late tonight, so being on the lookout for that. But I think the majority of folks are not driving to their Thanksgiving plans at 11 p.m. Now I say that, but then I reminisce back to the olden days when I was a young kid and my parents would send us to bed early and they'd get us up really early, like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, so that we could get in the car, and by the time we got in the car we'd be back asleep so we wouldn't annoy my parents. When I say we, myself, my sister, and my brother. I guess he wasn't even born then. But so if you're one of those people who maybe are like, I'm just going to trick my kids and put them in the car at 11 p.m., just be careful because we will see those storms again across the metro. Thankfully, the rain moves out pretty quickly by Wednesday, so I don't anticipate any travel issues if you're going to be out and about Wednesday morning. Probably by the time everybody's waking up with the sunrise, all of it's over. So again, now through early Wednesday, right now it's periods of rain, a few thunderstorms this afternoon. I would say use some caution on the roadways. Maybe have your phones charged just in case. That's always something I do, honestly, even when I'm just heading to a school talk, because you just never know when you're going to need it. How much rain could we see? 1/4 of an inch to about 1/2 of an inch for the most part. You can kind of see it's not a ton of rain, but as we know with the recent drought, we'll kind of take anything we can get. Temperature-wise, because of this rain, we've actually seen temperatures drop throughout the day instead of rise so far. In fact, just a little bit ago, Charlotte Douglas was at about 71, 72. Now it's at 66. So we're starting to see the impacts of the rain-cooled air. There will be a much different weather story in Charlotte compared to the Sandhills, where it's already in the mid-70s and it's still sunny, compared to the cold air damming and wedge setup that we have in the mountains, where it's chilly, cold, just kind of a disgusting day there. They're right now in the 40s. A few of those areas in the foothills, you can see 50s and 60s. So highs today will be very, very split. The Piedmont, again, 70s. Charlotte's probably hit their high so far today since we are unlikely to warm back up. But notice that places, again, in Chirac, Rockingham, mid to upper 70s versus the 50s up in the mountains. Remember the wedge, the cold air damming setup is essentially where we have the cold and drizzly air that gets trapped by the warm air. And so that combination of the two essentially allows for clouds to hang out near the ground and for, us to have kind of a gross day. It's a very December setup here so far today. So as we look ahead, weather impact alert today for those scattered showers, isolated thunderstorms, and really the next big story is that we have a cold snap on the way. A lot of social media hype just last week on this. It is going to cool down. We are going to see chillier temperatures, but it is not going to be anything dangerous here across the Charlotte area. Your Thanksgiving forecast, yes, looks a little bit cooler. We're in the 50s in the afternoon, but freezing around the morning time. 40s and 50s in the afternoon is just a hair below where we should be. So versus last week where we were like 20 degrees above average, thankfully we're not 20 degrees colder than average because that would put our lows in the teens and we're going to be nowhere near that. So you can kind of see the change here when it comes to high of 60 right now, 70s continuing and then that drop. But again, it's a very, very temporary drop as we'll eventually be back in the 50s heading into next week. Could see a few mornings this week with an isolated frost or freeze. Remember the growing season has officially ended, but if you have sensitive vegetation or you're just now deciding to plant, make sure Friday morning, Saturday morning, and Sunday morning you're covering up those plants, bringing them inside or taking precautions to make sure that they will last throughout the fall and winter months. Meteorological winter officially begins on Monday, December 1st, and it is day 7 of our Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. So it looks like a lot of stuff is happening here, and it is, but a lot of it is related to fun stuff across the Carolinas. So today, we're weather impact alert for that rain and kind of isolated thunderstorm activity. Thursday, we're a little bit cooler. Yes, chillier in the morning, but again, not terrible. Next home game series for the Checkers is Friday and Saturday. Sunday, the Panthers are at home, and we'll eventually see a few more showers in that 7-day forecast, which for the meteorologist side of me is very happy because, again, we still need the rain. But on the other hand, Sunday and Monday are my days off, and I was planning on taking Carlene's dog Turkey and my dog Roger to the Whitewater Center, so that might not be happening. But
that'll be a little muddy.
Maybe the following weekend.
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, and they especially Roger loves to jump in mud.
Loves mud.
Yeah, he used to hate water, Nick. Well, he does still hate water. And all of a sudden, he went one weekend with Carlene to the Whitewater Center and just decided he was just going to jump in mud. And then tried to shame her into bathing him. And she's like, you sit in that mud and I'll bathe you later.
Nice, happy medium. Mud is a nice, happy...
Carlene's
looking at me like...
Because I know he doesn't like water.
Yeah,
and then he just jumped headfirst into mud and then came out looking like SPCA commercial. And I was like, Roger.
Look, I'm here for whatever Roger wants to do.
Of course you are.
Whatever Roger wants to do, he should do it. Shout out to Roger.
Yeah.
Shout out to Roger.
Sweet baby angel.
Shout out to Roger.
Yes, officially 8 as of last week, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Are you taking my picture?
Yeah.
It's, what? Wow.
It's
Roger's
secondhand
8?
experience. You know what I mean?
Roger's 8?
Yeah, he just had his birthday on November 13th.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's because he's so tiny.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it's like when you see, like, you associate, like, a little dog like that, because he's Shih Tzu Yorkie, like, with them being, like, small, so that means they're young, but they're not.
No.
Which is funny because it was, I guess, not as much because he just turned 8, so I haven't told as many people, but I feel like all the time, Carly does. People would be like, how old is he? And I'm like, 7. And you would say the same thing. They'd be like, 7 months. I'm like, years.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah.
he's so spry. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, he's
Shout
just a
out
little
to-
crazy dog, obsessed
out-
with tennis balls.
Shout out to senior citizens.
But I'm so excited.
Senior citizen dogs, I should say.
Well, okay, don't say that about him.
Oh, he's a
No,
little
no.
older than- All right, okay. All right.
But I'm so excited to have turkey this weekend.
Yeah.
Yay. And next
Yay.
Young turkey.
Young turkey.
Young turkey.
He's
Yeah,
only 3.
Carlene's going on a little trip, so turkey's staying with
going on
Auntie
a trip.
Brett.
Before you on that trip, we still got more work to do, Carlene.
I got a lot to do, actually,
Yeah.
before I go.
No,
So much
she
to
is the
do.
hardest worker ever. She's done with work for the week.
Thank you, guys.
Brittany, thank you for your
Thank you,
time.
Nick.
Thank you for stopping by, as always. All right, so we want to switch gears.